Peace be with you all in this critical time in our history. Today's message is a special tribute to George Floyd and to all the protests and activism that is going on in the world right now. I want to thank so many people in the world for showing that they care, and send my thoughts and prayers to the Floyd family. My heart breaks for you. But from this, the world will never be the same, and we shall create something better for a new generation. And this man's death, his death will not be ignored, will not be trivialized, and it will not be cast away like so many others have. History will remember that the world took a stand, and I will always pray for the soul of your son, of your brother, for your hearts, that you may receive the peace and comfort of the Lord that only He can bring. You are always in my heart and always in my love. Thank you. To speak on the protests, I'll be reading from Isaiah chapter 58. Isaiah 58, verse 6. Is this not the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke, every instrument of bondage, every weapon of imprisonment, every shackle, every chain that binds us and robs us of the freedom and rights that we have as human beings. This is what God desires, that we loose the bands of wickedness, undo the heavy burdens, let the oppressed go free, and that we break every yoke. So for all of us protesting, fighting, standing, and letting our voices be heard, this is God's work to bring justice, equality, freedom, the life that He has promised to all His people. This is God's work, and we cannot stop. We must not stop. We must not relent. We must not slow down. In every state, in every city, in every country, and we are crying out for more than we can even say. For every African who was oppressed throughout these centuries, in the Arab slave trade, in the Atlantic slave trade, in Jim Crow, in apartheid, in the genocides across Australia, across Africa, across so many parts of the world, and the massacres and diseases and pandemics purposely spread in South America. For all the generations, we cry out. Cry out for a better world. We cry out for a world that we want our children to have. When we say Black Lives Matters, we say that those of us who have been marginalized, oppressed, brutalized, beaten, enslaved, those of us who have suffered refuse to accept the world that says we don't matter. The world that says that we can be oppressed and no one will care. The world that says that we can be killed in the street and a man with a knee on a human being's neck won't even flinch. This evil goes so much deeper than Derek Chauvin and the other 3 officers who should be arrested by now. This goes deeper than America, and it goes deeper than the black race. But for all the oppressed, I will cry out that our lives matter. So I say to my brothers and sisters of every race fighting the good fight, I say to the governments, to the police, to Mr. Trump, who thinks that force will silence the cries of the people who call for justice, who call for what is right. There comes a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious and makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers and all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run the machine, the people who own it, that until we are all free, the machine will be prevented from working at all. Mario Savio said those words at the Berkeley Free Speech Movement in 1964. And they are just as true now.
Freedom, freedom come. Hold on, won't be long.
The caged bird sings for freedom to ring. Black bodies being lost in the American dream. Blood of black being, a pastoral scene. Slavery still alive, check Amendment 13. Now whips and chains are subliminal. Instead of N-word, they use the word criminal. Sweet land of liberty, incarcerated country. Shot me with your gun, and now you wanna stump me. Prison is a business, America's the company. Investing in injustice, fear, and long suffering. We staring in the face of hate again. The same hate they say will make America great again. No consolation prize for the dehumanized. For America to rise, it's a matter of black lives. And we gon' free them so we can free us. America's moment to come to Jesus.